Wait, what if I told you that Meghan Markle never gave birth to Archie or Lilibet? And what if I told you that Tom Bower just proved it? After 4 years of silent investigation, the man who destroys prime ministers and billionaires has finally spoken, and what he uncovered is so explosive that it could blow the entire royal family apart. Insiders are now leaking that when Bower's team walked into those 2 hospitals, Portland in London and Santa Barbara in California, they found 0 records, no files, no signatures, no proof that Meghan was ever admitted. Nothing. But here's where it gets disgusting. At the Invictus Games, Harry and Meghan's own team walked straight up to Tom Bower, looked him dead in the eyes and said, "Why are you really here? We know what you're doing. We've read your book. You need to stop." Bower didn't even flinch. He just smiled and replied, "The truth doesn't care how royal you think you are." Now Bower is going nuclear. He says the reason Meghan will never agree to a DNA test is not because of privacy. It's because that test would prove she is not the biological mother and never carried those children. Harry's own words in spare. That weird white dress, the birth registered before the baby was born, and that terrifying slip-up. Babies change so much in 2 weeks. It was all a lie. This is going to get ugly. If you think this is just another conspiracy, you're dead wrong. What I'm about to tell you next has the palace in absolute panic mode. Stick around because this news is about to get 10 times darker. Listen, if you're watching this right now, you already know something is deeply wrong with Harry and Meghan's news, but what Tom Bower just exposed is about to rip the mask off completely. For years, the world has watched Meghan Markle play the ultimate victim while climbing her way to power with ruthless ambition. This is the same woman who went from a struggling Hollywood actress to a duchess overnight, then turned around and torched the royal family for profit. From that infamous Oprah interview where she accused the palace of racism, to Harry's bombshell book spare that dragged his own grandmother through the mud while she was dying, everything has been one calculated move after another. But behind all the Netflix deals, Spotify podcasts, and fake privacy cries, there has always been one dark secret that refused to stay buried: the births of Archie and Lilibet. Tom Bower is not your average royal commentator. This man has taken down prime ministers, billionaires, and entire corporations. When he decides to investigate someone, he doesn't stop until the truth bleeds out. For 4 brutal years, Bower and his team quietly dug through medical files, palace whispers, and official documents most journalists were too scared to touch. What they found has left even hardened insiders speechless. Insiders close to the investigation are now leaking that Meghan's obsession with controlling her image went far beyond normal vanity. Why did she refuse the Queen's personal doctors at both births? Why did she insist on complete secrecy? And most disturbing of all, why has she turned into a complete savage whenever anyone dares to ask for proof? Harry, the man who once said he wanted a normal life, now looks completely broken. Sources say he was manipulated from the very beginning. The guy who used to be fun-loving Prince Harry is now trapped in a California mansion, defending a news that's slowly collapsing around him. But here's the question that should terrify every royal watcher. What if the entire fairy tale pregnancy was staged? What if those children were never carried by Meghan at all? The tension inside the palace is at breaking point. Leaked messages between senior royals show they've been quietly consulting constitutional lawyers for months. Everyone is whispering the same terrifying question. And just when you think it can't get any worse, Tom Bower walked straight into the lion's den at the Invictus Games. What happened next changed everything. This is where the real war begins. Tom Bower didn't just write a book. He went full forensic detective on Meghan Markle. For 4 years, this man tore through sealed documents, grilled palace insiders, and did what no mainstream journalist had the guts to do. He physically showed up at Portland Hospital in London and Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital in California, the exact places where Archie and Lilibet were supposedly born. And what did his team find? Absolutely nothing. No admission records, no medical charts, no nurse signatures, no proof that Meghan Markle was ever a patient in either hospital. 0. Zip. How is that even possible for 2 children 6th and 7th in line to the British throne? But the real gut punch? At the Invictus Games, Harry and Meghan's own attack dogs walked right up to Tom Bower on camera, in front of the entire world, and tried to intimidate him like street thugs. One of them looked him dead in the eyes and snarled, "Why are you really here? We've read your book. We know what you're doing. You need to stop digging." Bower didn't even blink. He looked back at them with ice-cold calm and said, "The truth doesn't flinch just because you carry a royal title." That moment was caught on video. It's real, and it proves one thing. They are terrified of what this man has uncovered. Now, let me ask you something disturbing. Why did Meghan refuse the Queen's own doctors at both births? The Queen herself begged for her personal physicians to be in that room. Meghan said no. She wanted 0 independent witnesses. Why? What was she hiding that even the Queen couldn't see? Then there's the birth certificate bombshell that still keeps me up at night. Archie's official UK registration document shows the birth was registered on May 1st, 2019, 5 full days before Harry and Meghan told the world he was born on May 6th. When Bower asked the UK General Register Office how a child can be registered before he even exists, they gave a chilling answer. It's impossible. We never pre-register births. Ever. So, how did it happen? The Red Book, that mandatory little red hospital book every British mother must present to register her child, magically disappeared. The registrar, who went to Frogmore Cottage, was never shown any medical proof. Instead, they were handed a handwritten note from Harry's personal protection officer that literally said, "I was there, but don't hold me responsible if this is wrong." A bodyguard's note instead of a doctor's record? Are you actually kidding me? And don't even get me started on Harry's own book spare. He wrote that Meghan had 2 epidurals, a brutal delivery, and was back at Frogmore Cottage eating Nando's just 2 hours later. Medical experts who read that chapter for Bower laughed out loud. One top obstetrician told him on record, "Physically impossible. That timeline is pure fantasy." But here's where the real betrayal hits like a knife in the back. Bower discovered that the official palace announcements used the words "born for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex," not "born to." That wording appears in both Archie and Lilibet's announcements. In proper royal language, "born to" means the mother carried the child. "Born for" means the child was given to them. 2 different announcements. Same suspicious phrasing. Coincidence? Or a Freudian slip that exposed the entire surrogacy operation? Now here comes the first massive twist that makes this 10 times worse than anyone imagined. According to Bower's leaked notes, Meghan didn't just use a surrogate. She allegedly planned the entire thing before she even walked down the aisle. One senior palace source told Bower that Meghan had a secret medical procedure years earlier that made natural pregnancy almost impossible. That's why she fought so hard to keep the Queen's doctors out. That's why she created total secrecy. That's why she will never allow a DNA test. Because a DNA test doesn't just show whose blood runs in the children's veins. Under ancient British succession law, the heir must be born of the body. Even if Harry is the biological father, if Meghan didn't physically carry them, those kids have no legal right to the line of succession. The palace is now in absolute meltdown. And just when you think this news couldn't get any darker, Bower found something in Harry's own words that changes everything. In those first few days after Archie was born, Harry stood in front of cameras looking nervous as hell and blurted out, "Everyone says babies change so much in 2 weeks." 2 weeks? The baby was supposedly only a few days old. Meghan immediately tried to correct him. 2 days. He meant 2 days. But Tom Bower didn't miss it. And neither did we. What exactly had Harry been looking at for 2 full weeks before the world was told Archie was born? This is getting terrifying. And what I'm about to reveal in the next part will make you question every single thing you thought you knew about this couple. Tom Bower's investigation has now gone nuclear. The second twist is so devastating that it's sending shockwaves straight through Buckingham Palace and Montecito at the same time. According to insiders who have seen his private notes, Bower didn't just discover missing hospital records. He found evidence that Meghan allegedly used 2 different surrogates, one in the UK and one in California, and then staged dramatic pregnancy photos to sell the lie to the entire world. But here's what's going to make your blood boil. A leaked medical source close to Bower claims that Meghan had a full hysterectomy years before marrying Harry. That's right. She physically could not carry a child. Yet she paraded fake baby bumps, cried on Oprah about her miscarriage, and forced Harry to write emotional lies and spare. All of it fabricated. All of it to secure her position, titles, and future money. Now the question everyone is screaming, if she never carried them, then who the hell actually gave birth to Archie and Lilibet? And more importantly, does Harry even know the full truth? This revelation is spreading like wildfire. On X, formerly Twitter, the hashtag Bauer bombshell is trending with over 2.8 million posts in the last 48 hours. One viral thread by a royal insider with 450K followers reads, "Tom Bauer has the receipts. No red book, no DNA, no real birth. The Sussexes built their entire empire on a fraud. The palace knows." Piers Morgan went on air yesterday and didn't hold back. If even half of what Bauer says is true, this is the biggest royal deception since the abdication. Meghan's empire is about to collapse. Even celebrities are turning. A leaked text from a major Hollywood producer to a friend said, "Netflix is panicking. If this DNA news explodes, their deal with the Sussexes becomes toxic overnight." The betrayal feels personal now. Harry, the man who gave up everything for love, is being painted as either a willing accomplice or the world's most manipulated fool. And Meghan? She's gone radio silent. No clapbacks, no lawsuits, no denials.
Why?
Because according to Bauer, one single DNA test would ruin her completely. It wouldn't just prove maternity. It would prove she committed fraud against the crown, against the British people, and against her own husband. But wait, you haven't heard the worst part yet. Bauer has allegedly obtained a copy of a secret letter sent from a senior royal to King Charles. In it, they demand that Archie and Lilibet be immediately removed from the line of succession. The palace is no longer whispering. They are preparing for war. And what's coming next will shake the monarchy to its core. Since Tom Bauer dropped his devastating findings, social media is in absolute meltdown. The hashtag Meghan didn't give birth is trending worldwide with over 4.7 million posts in just 72 hours. People are furious, heartbroken, and completely divided. One side is screaming, "This is the biggest royal fraud in history," while the other is desperately defending Meghan like their lives depend on it. But let me ask you something shocking. If Meghan has nothing to hide, then why is her entire PR team in panic mode? Why haven't they sued Bauer? Why haven't they released a single medical record? The silence is speaking louder than any lie they've told before. On X, a viral thread from a former palace staffer with 620K followers read, "I was there in 2019. The pregnancy photos never matched. The bump moved like a pillow. Tom Bauer is telling the truth, and the palace knows it." That single post has 2.1 million likes and counting. The anger is everywhere. Fans who once supported Meghan are now turning. One comment that's been shared 187,000 times says, "I defended her during the Oprah interview. I believed her miscarriage news. Now I feel sick. She used those fake pregnancies for sympathy and money." This is pure evil. Even inside the industry, things are collapsing fast. Netflix executives are reportedly holding emergency meetings. A leaked internal email says, "The DNA news could make our $100 million deal with the Sussexes completely worthless." Spotify has gone deathly quiet. Brands that paid Meghan millions for her lifestyle brand are now running background checks, terrified of being associated with the biggest royal deception of our lifetime. Piers Morgan went on air again last night and didn't hold back. If Tom Bauer is right, Meghan has committed fraud against the crown. Harry looks like the most manipulated man on earth. This isn't a scandal anymore. This is treason against the monarchy. Lady Colin Campbell, who has been warning everyone for years, posted a single chilling message. "I told you so. The DNA test will ruin everything. Watch them run." But the most terrifying reaction is coming from inside the royal family itself. Multiple insiders say King Charles is furious and betrayed. Senior royals are now demanding DNA proof or immediate removal of Archie and Lilibet from the line of succession. The controversy is growing more toxic by the hour. Families are fighting. Comment sections are on fire. And the biggest question on everyone's mind right now is, what if the final proof Tom Bower is holding back is even worse than everything we've heard so far? Because according to fresh leaks, the worst is still coming. But wait, you haven't heard the final twist yet. And this one is going to destroy everything you thought was left of their news. Tom Bower's team has allegedly obtained a devastating leaked audio recording from inside Montecito. In it, a voice believed to be Meghan's is heard saying, "As long as they never demand a DNA test, we're untouchable. The titles stay. The money keeps flowing." Harry still believes it, and that's all that matters. If this recording is real, and multiple insiders swear it is, then this isn't just a lie anymore. This is cold, calculated, long-term deception at the highest level. Bower reportedly told his inner circle that this is the reason Meghan will never allow a DNA test. Not because it would prove she's not the mother, but because it might prove something even darker, that at least one of those children may not even be Harry's biological child. Yes, you heard that right. The man who gave up his family, his country, and his dignity for love may have been played in the most brutal way imaginable. Sources say Harry is now spiraling behind closed doors. One palace insider leaked, he's been living in a fantasy she created. When the full truth drops, there will be no coming back from this. This final revelation has thrown the royal family into absolute chaos. King Charles is said to be beyond furious, with senior aides now preparing emergency legal documents to strip Archie and Lilibet from the line of succession permanently. The Church of England is also involved because a royal christening without proper born of the body proof may be legally invalid. Now I have to ask you this directly. How much longer can they keep this going? How deep does this deception actually run? And most terrifying of all, what else has Meghan been hiding from Harry and from all of us? This scandal is nowhere near over. In fact, Bower has made it crystal clear in private conversations that what he has released so far is only 30% of what he actually possesses. He's holding back the most explosive evidence for the right moment. The palace is panicking. Harry looks broken. Meghan has gone completely silent. And the next bombshell could drop any day. So tell me, are you ready for what's coming next? Because part 2 of this investigation is going to be even more brutal. You do not want to miss it. Now listen up, because this is the most important part. If what you just heard shocked you, angered you, or made you feel completely betrayed, then smash that like button right now. This video needs to reach as many people as possible before the palace PR machine tries to bury it again. We are talking about potential fraud at the highest level of the British monarchy, and the world deserves to know the truth. Drop your thoughts in the comments immediately. I want to know, do you believe Meghan never gave birth to Archie and Lilibet? Was Harry manipulated from the very beginning? Should those children be removed from the line of succession until a DNA test is done? And the biggest question of all, how much more is Tom Bower still hiding that could completely ruin Meghan forever? Be honest. Be brutal. The comment section is already exploding with thousands of you saying, "I knew something was off." Your voice matters here. Are you Team Bower, or are you still defending Meghan? Let's see which side wins. If you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. This channel is bringing you the raw and censored truth that mainstream media is too scared to touch. Part 2 of this investigation drops in less than 48 hours, and trust me, what Tom Bower is preparing to release next is going to make today's revelations look like child's play. The silence from Montecito is deafening. Their refusal to sue, their refusal to test, their refusal to show proof. It's all the answer we need. But the real question remains, how long before Harry finally wakes up and realizes he destroyed his entire life for a lie? This news is far from over. It's only getting darker, uglier, and more dangerous. So stay tuned. Share this video with everyone you know. The monarchy is shaking and we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. Don't miss it.